Republican Congressman Michael McCaul. He's the top Republican on the Foreign Affairs Committee, now releasing its findings into the administration's, quote, strategic failure in Afghanistan. Congressman, the White House tells Fox News, they evacuated 124,000 people successfully from Afghanistan during those waning days. They say they helped them relocate to the United States as well as a whole host of other countries, gave them medical treatment. Tremendous success. How do you disagree?
Well, I mean, of course you're going to say that. They've tried to run away from the story for quite some time, which is why we did our own investigation and our own report as to what happened. And by the way, the State Department did not cooperate with our investigation because they didn't want us to know everything. But what I can tell you is what they're saying now is a little bit of a spin job. They're also saying that al-Qaeda is essentially gone from Afghanistan. I agree with General Keane. That is absolutely incorrect. It's false. They're misleading the American people, just like they did through the entire evacuation. They didn't listen to the intelligence community like I did, or the top general saying it's going to happen fast and it's imminent. They left behind, we still have 1,000 American citizens left behind in Afghanistan a year later, and 100,000 Afghan partners were left behind that we promised we would protect. No one left behind, we said, and now they're subject to the mercy of the Taliban. A lot of them have been beaten, tortured, and killed, not to mention the women, Jillian, that have been left behind as well. And I worked hard to get a lot of them out of there, but now they're under Sharia law. This was an absolute failure, a strategic failure by the State Department and the White House, and they didn't listen to our intelligence community or our military, which is one of the biggest findings in our report.
So, sir, in addition to looking at blame and responsibility in the report, I know that you also laser in on lessons learned. This is going to be important to the military, to the intelligence community moving forward. What is the #1 takeaway for government officials across the board from this withdrawal?
Well, listen to your intelligence community and the Pentagon about what the conditions are on the ground. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't say that the helicopters are not going to take off like they did in Vietnam. And that's exactly what happened. State Department was ill prepared for this. They had 36 consular officers to process hundreds of thousands of people. And so I would say moving forward, have a plan. They didn't have a plan. And the only plan they had was failure. And, you know, the Taliban offered to the United States Armed Forces and NATO access to Kabul to have a more efficient, effective evacuation. That was turned down by the White House, and guess what? A suicide bomber came in and killed 13 servicemen and women that will never come back.
Sir, when it comes to, I just asked General Keane about this a moment ago, but I want to hear what you have to say. Do you have concerns on the Foreign Affairs Committee that incident, the loss of 13 American lives, is serving as a deterrent to military enlistment?
Oh, you know, look, the PTSD that Afghanistan veterans and Iraqi veterans have, the suicide rate due to this evacuation has gone up. They question, was it worth it, after they see the devastating consequences of this evacuation. Very concerned about morale in the military, but most importantly, our veterans who do have PTSD and have issues, and we need to take care of them.
Congressman McCaul, we got to leave it there. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jillian. Appreciate it.